Hello, this is Summer Art Academy at the Knoxville Museum of Art. My name is Miss Hannah and I will be teaching Draw, Paint, and Sculpt Part 2 for 3 and 4-year-olds. Welcome back, artists. Again, my name is Miss Hannah. Today we will explore the art of sculpture. Sculpture is a type of art that is 2 or 3 dimensional, meaning you can look at it from more than one side. Today we will create 2D and 3D sculptures, practice scissor safety, learn to take a flat object like a piece of paper or a line and transform it into a 3D object. Are you ready? For our first activity, we will be creating a glue relief. For this project, you are going to need some liquid glue, a piece of white paper, and a flat surface not only to work on, but later to leave your artwork to dry. It will take a few days. I like to work standing up for this project and looking down. Some people like to actually put their artwork on the floor and stand high above it. And what we are going to do is we are going to squeeze our glue and constantly keeping it moving, making lots of different lines until you have covered the page. You'll want to keep this flat to dry for 3 to 4 days. For this project, we are going to take flat pieces of paper that are cut into lines and transform them into 3-dimensional sculpture pieces. I've pre-cut several pieces of paper. Some are long, some are short, some are thick, and some are thin. And I also have my handy dandy scissors that I can use to change the shape of these papers. And I have glue. I have both liquid glue and stick glue because the more the merrier with glue. But a little glue does go a long way, but it is nice to have different types depending on how fast you want it to dry and the strength. Liquid glue tends to be stronger, but stick glue tends to dry faster. So we'll be using both. So in order to get my paper to do something more than just be a flat piece, I need to fold it. I can do a simple fold right in the middle to make a partial triangle. And then I could fold each end to make it stand up. Add a little bit of glue. And another bit of glue. And I have my first piece of my puzzle. Next, I could choose to have a piece just standing up. So I'm going to do just one fold here on the edge. And friends, right now I'm just showing you a variety of different ways to create. And then you'll get to create whatever you want to. I like that. Now I'm going to show you one of my favorite folds. This is called a fan fold. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start at one end and I'm going to fold a piece forward and then fold it backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. And when I'm finished, it's like an accordion or a fan. I can just add glue on my ends. And place it where I want to go. Something important about gluing is once you've glued a piece and put it down, the best thing to do is just leave it. If you decide you don't like it there, just change your idea. Because the more you glue and take up and glue and take up, the pieces will actually stop working and you won't be able to glue them anymore. Now another way we can change our lines is by cutting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip some lines into this paper. Now notice when I'm snipping, I'm pointing away from my body And I'm also making sure that the tips of my scissors don't get anywhere near my other fingers. So even when I was cutting more in front of them, it never gets very close. Even safety scissors can cause some nicks and cuts, so you always just want to be extra careful. It's also important when you're using scissors to never be in a hurry, because when we get in a hurry, that's when we really start making mistakes. So I've cut my paper, and now I've folded it. I'm going to add some glue, and I want this glue to be a little bit stronger. And I'm just going to put it down. And I could even go in and change the directions of these pieces, have some leaning forward, some leaning backwards. I could have them all standing up. Lots of different options. You could also do shape cuts. And cut your paper smaller. And again, to get it to stand up, I'm just adding a fold and putting some glue on that fold to get it to stand up. I can keep building from, let's do something that contrasts. I have this pre-folded fan. I could even decide to build up. Now sometimes as I'm building, the paper might not be strong enough to hold what my idea is up. Oops. I can also get glue on my fingers and get stuck. There we go. So there's that piece. But let's say this didn't want to stand up. I could then take another piece and give the paper added support to help it out. You see how that's propping that piece up? So there's lots of different ways you can layer, fold, and cut to create a 3D paper sculpture. It's now your turn to create. Thank you for joining me for part 2 of Draw, Paint, and Sculpt. Today we learned to use tools like paper and glue to create different types of sculpture. Our glue release will take a few days to dry, but when they do, we will be transforming them into something new. Join me for part 5 to find out more. Next time, we will be exploring painting. Be prepared for some mess making. See you then.